So with that, we're going to be watching the finals for today. It's Myrmidons and Six Sigma facing off. These guys, they've made some good showings back in the previous few weeks. Going today, it is fourth seed Myrmidons facing off against sixth seed Six Sigma. With the placements today, they'll be moving themselves up a little bit further on, and the Myrmidons looking for what could potentially be a first place overall finish. Six Sigma as well, I believe, if they lock in first, would actually bump themselves up to first place as well. So again, coming into this match, this one's still important as far as seeding is concerned.
A second place finish for the Myrmidons would, so they're automatically into the top depending upon where Six Sigma finish. If Six Sigma beat them in this game, they'll jump to the top spot. That's how that one will confirmed work out. That is a yes, that's a definite. So
no elimination. It's just down to where exactly they will sit in the group stages. I'm sure, can they actually end up against each other the way things finish out? I don't have the full updated chart in front of me anymore, but nevertheless, it'll be interesting. It'll be important for these guys nevertheless, and there's still gems on the line. Everyone wants those gems. Who doesn't want skins? There's Summer of Smite going on right now. You gotta get that stuff in. Picks and bans up on your screen right now, and you know, all the gods not banned out. That's also actually, picks and bans were not on the screen. Sometimes I talk out of places about things that may not be accurate. There's the picks. That is correct, as the bans finally come up on screen. All those considered high priority picks available. I don't think anyone would have called a first pick Hades. Okay, to be fair, it is Mogao. We saw him last week going crazy on it. But you just look at it, what do people first pick? Hades is maybe way down the list. You might get that one guy who hates Hades with a passion from casuals and stuff like that, but anyone with Mogao, not anywhere near the top of the list.
God damn it, Mogao.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the guy that was able to make Chalk work as well?
He played Chalk correctly. I don't know that he made Chalk work. Everyone's like, oh, Chalk! He's a lane bully. So I'm going to farm for 30 minutes and then wonder why he doesn't do much late game. He just said, I'm a lane bully. Why not be a map bully early on as well? He was rotating everywhere all the time, and the teams he was up against at that point, I think it was Moonman, just kind of didn't have an answer to it. So he kind of was able to run amok during that matchup.
Oh yeah, he went crazy, man. And Myrmidons, consistent finishes in the back ends of the ladder so far. That's what I'm really looking forward going forward as well, right? Mentioned it, Mogao, consistent on these aggressive gods and able to make them work. He's the only one that's been able to make a Chalk work in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But they're consistently able to make them work. They're here in the grand finals of the last 2 weeks. What does that tell you? They're on fire.
For sure. They have their spot clinched going into week 5. But yeah, they still have to win this match. Just for, if nothing else, for the bragging rights, gems aside and seeding aside. It's all about the bragging rights. You want to establish yourself as that team that took victory for the final week and kind of get that momentum rolling as things continue on forward. I don't know where we were picks and bans-wise. Agni Ares picked up for Myrmidons, hi-rez, Sylvanus, Ra on the side of Six Sigma. Counter bans on your screen as well. Hercules locked in for the Soul Laner. On the other side, picking up Serqet. Second to last pick on the board. Not something you typically see, but we saw LevaQQ a game or two ago go kind of crazy with that, and they have Anhur picked up as well for their Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the ban coming through from the guys on the side of Six Sigma was a Rama. They were looking for some late game Hunter ban outs, right? That's what they were trying to focus out on. None of that. Let's have none of that. And just straight away gonna go in with an Anhur, comboing with the Serqet, the Ares, and the Hades they have. This is gonna be Myrmidons doing what they normally do and just going balls to the wall from the get-go.
Yep. No, we'll see exactly how they play this one out here, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the finals of the Week 5 Challenger Cup. Last week of Open Bracket play, the last set of Open Bracket play as well. It's a best of 3. We'll see which team can come out victorious here in just a few minutes. Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Go away, camera control please, and thank you! There it goes, it's gone now. It's the Myrmidons facing off against Six Sigma in this matchup. It's the first game of the finals. Quick note on my previous statement at the beginning of Picks and Bans about losing road. I forgot that column headers were a thing. I was using the spreadsheet row numbers as position numbers. Losing Road are actually currently facing off in the third place match in a clinching scenario. We'll be jumping over to that following the finals. Watching that one off the replay if you want to find out what happens to those guys down there. They do need to take that third place victory. A fourth place one will not be cutting it, I believe. I don't remember. My math should not be trusted.
No, you've had to math like a good 4 or 5 times over the weekend, and every single time we've come up with a different answer, right? So let's just not trust your math in the future.
Yeah. To be fair, my math is occasionally correct. There's some things like I don't take into consideration, such as a column header. The column headers had first place. Team name. The team going to first place, be taking first place seeding, apparently. They finished with a grand total of seeding points for their overall points for the first 5 weeks. Good stuff to know, right?
Hey, maybe that seeding points was just filling in for an infinite number, right?
That's a possibility. There's no I in there, so there's an I in points. Never mind. I was going to make an imaginary number joke, but I kind of didn't. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, I got that one. I got that one this time around.
No I in team. I'm watching 2 teams face off here in this first game of the finals. I think we covered that already. But nevertheless, Myrmidons and Six Sigma. Let's run through these rosters. Mogao on the left-hand side, playing Hades in the solo lane, Shock and Smash in the jungle as Serqet, Tynes in the mid lane as Agni, Dardes as the support areas, and finally Anhur being played by Jermaine over in that duo lane as the Hunter.
Yeah, and coming through from the side of Six Sigma, it's going to be Bulbasaur on the Hercules in the solo lane. Mr. Crunchy's going to be on the jungle Bastet. Fexez is going to be on the mid lane Roar. Deku Scrub is going to be coming in at the Guardian Sylvanus, and MBK is going to be a Hunter on the xbalanque.
Yep. 2 things to know in this game. Fex is going to be kind of the mercy of that Serqet. Last breath means no healing onto him. He should... After that week, I think it was week 3, a little bit. He learned, his team learned the hard way that Fexes wasn't aware that last breath could actually spread if he got killed by it. He kind of shared that particular brand of love that nobody wanted any part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amusing. It was hilarious. And I'm going to mention every chance I possibly get with the Serqet and the other team. But no, the Serqet will actually work really well, the anti-healing coming in for that. Mid lane's going to be a little rough at times. Ra's going to be able to heal up his own minion wave and just push it forward again and again. It's going to be kind of absurd. He's going to be farming on the tower until he hits level 5 and can finally drop down enough burst damage between bursts of solar blessing, between solar blessings to actually bring the wave down in a quick enough manner. So another level 2 for that. He'll be losing a little bit more gold until then. It won't be the end of the world, however. Sorry, smack the microphone. Won't happen again.
Smack the microphone? What did your microphone do to you today? Oh, Grab actually just misses Jermaine in the left-hand side of the map as well. Deku Scrub landed the snare first as well.
Yep. It's a little bit of a slower-paced game today. This isn't the case of, team, oh, we got this, we don't have to worry about these guys, oh, we won this in picks and bans. These are pretty balanced teams looking side to side. There's a lot of healing on Six Sigma. I mean, Myrmidons, I'm going to say, need to pick up Weed and Curse in this one, otherwise we're going to have problems. Yeah, they have Serqet. Yeah, she has the last breath poison with 100% healing reduction, but that's probably not going to be enough. She can only apply it to one person. Unless the whole Fexes thing happens again, which I'm going to try not to talk about too many more times. Unless it happens, in which case it's all on. Snipe! Mid lane! Just below the camera. Secures the kill for Fexes for first blood.
Bright idea.
Yep.
Using that ultimate, that's how you secure kills. It is a bright idea.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Six Sigma, a lot of healing across the board. Agent Curse, definitely an option. It depends where they utilize the last breath as well. That needs to be the focus target, because if they pick that up and utilize it correctly onto the right targets at the right times, may not need a weakening curse. You can keep it in reserve for like objective secures. Like, oh look, they're coming in to try and steal this one away. Uh-oh.
That beach ball sure wasn't filled with air. I don't know what it was filled with, that's alright, but it was filled with enough of something to actually take out at, the god of the, what is this actual title? God of the Dead? Is it just that? The Lord of the Underworld? I think it's Diablo.
Lord of the Underworld, that's it.
Is it Lord of the Underworld?
Lord of the Underworld. It's Lord of the Underworld.
Lord of the Underworld. It works. Able to secure that, bring down the God of the Dead, Lord of the Underworld, whatever it happens to be, with a giant beach ball. He doesn't, maybe it's just the case he doesn't like fun things.
It's probably because Hercules is chilling out on the beach and he's the god of the underworld.
I know what actually happened with this. I don't know if you ever did in a kid, but at one point in time, I think everyone comes to the point, what if we fill the beach ball with something other than air? We always did in the pool. Fill it up with water. It's actually quite difficult to lift it up because, a medium-sized beach ball completely full of water actually gets very, very heavy when you're like a 10-year-old child. So when you get you find a little small beach ball, you fill it with water, and you throw it to somebody, and they miss and get smacked in the side of the head with what is then a 20-pound beach ball. That hurts quite a bit. And we're talking Hercules. That's like like a 4 or 5 meter wide beach ball. That thing weighed a couple, well, probably about
it's the size of Hercules.
1,000 kilograms, something like that. That's a pretty heavy beach ball. That's nothing to be laughed at. And look at those muscles, too. He doesn't care it's filled with water and very difficult. He's swinging that dumbbell around like it's nothing. It's half a dumbbell to be fair, but nevertheless, it's nothing.
He's the strongest demigod that ever existed. Of course he's not going to care. He can just lift that thing up and throw it around like it's nothing. It's brutal. Think about throwing a beach ball filled with water at someone. Ouch.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh well, left-hand side though.
Bit of aggression coming out. Deku Scrub trying to run for his life now. Last breath will be applied. Tossing him back to his team. No healing coming out for this last breath. There it does get thrown out. Dardas will secure that kill, but Deku Scrub with the dot damage gets that kill. Bulbasaur! That beach ball came out once again to secure that kill over there. Mogao, a bit of rough time against this Hercules.
Good thing he's got to the underworld because he's dead all the time.
But Dardas answers back. So from the dead, finding a kill with that overtime damage from the shackles. Sure he's happy about that one. Gold Fury.
You know what Hades' passive should be? Slightly reduced death time.
They know this is going on. Love little box cat on Vision Patrol over here. Gonna force to reset Crunchy very, very low. I don't know if they would have been able to pull that one off in general. The health bars are too low. There was no life steal on that xbalanque. He only has that Heart Seeker, so... Deku Scrub is on his way back. I'm not sure if he would have been able to get there in time without a reset having to come out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying. He was really, really trying to get there. You mentioned it. xbalanque, only Heart Seekers, no RC online at this point. So, not able to quite get in there. It's risky. Anytime that you're doing a Gold Fury early on without Dev Gauntlets, it's risky. That's just how it works out, you know? The sustain had to come through from the Ra, and Ra was obviously dead.
Cobra Skid's coming in over this left side cam. Hand of the Gods comes down. Serqet will not grab either one. I think that might have missed completely. I saw them burn to death there for Chris. I think Dardas ended up securing them anyway. So it worked out alright. Right side cams did go to Six Sigma, so what could have been a 1-for-1 split in the camps. Damage coming down, stuns good. Shackles applied as well. Fex is not really going anywhere to begin with, but that damage was very, very massive. But there's the healing coming back out. Was his health bar ever not full there? Okay, it's slightly not full. A little scratch to the top of the health bar.
Look at that. He had like less than a third of his health bar. It's just like, oh look, 3.
This is early
look,
game.
I've got Sylvanus.
There's no little extra healing things coming out yet either. Anywhere. There's no heavenly agilities on the team. Right side, this might be Bulbasaur falling. Beach ball comes out, but it's going to be too little too late this time around. Last breath! Mitigates that mitigate wounds and says it's not doing anything for the next couple moments. So that's gonna be a kill.
Yeah, they find something back for Mogao. I mean, we mentioned in the God Select how strong Mogao is on these early game gods. It's actually a Gold Fury fight. It's gonna start initiating on the left hand side. Deku Scrub gets that ultimate down on towards Dardas, and they lock him in place with the cats doing a lot of work on towards him. Still got the ultimate through, but look at the snipe from Fex. Says he was locked in place. It was a really easy snipe to land, but they're gonna get focused down on towards this Gold Fury, and they're burning through it rather quickly.
Yeah, the heals coming out as well. As health bars are not going to be dropping all that much. We can see them trying to zone these guys, having enough time to live in a bad spot. Path to Flame survival. He will dart himself on back out. Shock and Smath Fex is very low. The Cobra's the poison not gonna be finding that kill in the end. Taunt comes out. The heals get dropped down. That health bar will be going straight back up. Mana bar though, empty. Fexes will go back to base here in just a few moments. Gold Fury picked up by Six Sigma in the end on that one.
Look at the grouping though immediately coming up from it. Oh, I really would have liked to see them continue to put some pressure down. They knew that Crunchy had no mana bar, knew that Sylvanus can't clear all that effectively, and they knew that there was no mana bar whatsoever on Fexes, right? They could have just put a 3-man shove immediately down into the mid lane, and that opens up the middle of the map.
Yeah, alright, middle of the map opens up. Try that again.
No. Yeah, sorry, that's what happens when you get gas in the middle of a cast. It's just...
Yep. We went through a phase
yeah,
back
you know what?
casting a while with everyone decided they were on a soda fit, and you know, a quick can of soda before you start the cast, and the bodily gases start coming back out mid cast, and just like constant both gases. Just like, sorry guys, excuse me, that's soda. Not agreeing with me here, so yeah. Don't you know? Don't do soda before cast. Fun stuff.
This is actually this is a medical problem for me though. This is like I have really bad reflux.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
So it just comes up. The medicine I take for it, yeah, nothing I can do. It's just natural.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
There you go.
So, is it a Bakasura situation where you're just like throwing minions you'd eaten all over the place previously, or are we just talking like Bacchus levels here?
You've broken me. That's just broken. That's That's a good call. That's such a good call. Anyway, mid-camps are going to respawn them. We're probably going to have a fight around them as the right-hand side has already been taken away. Shock and Smash is trying to split them off, and it's going to be a split on the mid-camps.
Yep, down in the mid lane, kind of positioning around a little bit. We're not going to see much action for the next little while. Gold Fury's down, Mid Harpy's down. Most of the buffs on the map down as well. Not much to take, a bit of a farm period. Except maybe the solo lane, which has been anything but a slap fight so far today. Let's face it, when you're bringing a barbell to a slap fight, I mean, that's just needlessly escalating the situation.
Yeah, or beach balls filled with water.
Yeah, not nice at all. A little back and forth. Moga, though, with that gank help coming out of just a few minutes ago from Shock and Smash, kind of helping to even things back out. Only a 1 level difference right now. Driving Strike ends up missing over there. An invade attempt coming out left side of the jungle, but MBK trying to steal his buff away from Jermaine. But Ares is here, and so is Deepescript.
Yeah, but that old xbalanque ultimate coming down there, really looking for that pressure. They don't quite find Jermaine. He's still got a little bit of health, and now they've got onto the tower with the Desert Fury. A Goose Grub is a tick of death. A tick of damage away from death. They're going to finally find Dadas with thanks to Mr. Crunchy, but he's locked in here between a rock and a hard place. No Gab in sight, but still, that's the way it sits. xbalanque is coming in. This is risky. This is risky, and he needs to run for his life, and he knows it.
Yep, going forward. It's going to be able to get out of that one. I'm really bad situation for him this. So he's got it free and clear. They're kind of still giving chase, but it's basically down to there's not much else in the map to do right now, so why not look for some poke? Maybe look for the kill. He's going to kill this straight back up. Mr. Crunchy's here. He's the one who could potentially fall to this, getting a little bit of a skirmish in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's going to be really, really careful. Healing sustainers there. xbalanque and Crunchy trying to do what they can. Oh, bombs. The stun's coming out on towards xbalanque. What can they find? Not a huge deal. The snipe from downtown. xbalanque's ability cancelling with the one into the ulti. That was fantastic.
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he's only used it 3 times so far this game. Those 3 times he used
secured a
it
kill with all
have
3.
secured all 3, yeah.
Oh, just
hello.
really good raw skills. Jermaine, though, left-hand side is with the help from Dadas, gets the chains up, the xbalanque locked in place, and they pick him off. Yeah. Wow, that's a nice advantage, especially coming to this next Gold Fury.
Yeah, it's a very long cripple overall, and when you're trying to run away from the enemy dual lane in a 1v2 situation, you do not want to be crippled out and your escape ability unable to be used. Tiku, give him a little bit of chase right here. If you can find the route, will miss. Grab misses as well. Shifting Sands Pillar will kind of slow him down, but give me chasing more. You saw the rotation coming up. Pull had landed. If the root had landed, that would have been an engagement from Six Sigma. Trying to find a couple kills over here in this left lane. You're going to look for a re-engage here, but again, the root unfortunately missing. Jermaine able to disperse on out and away from that one. Right side, gang coming out, looking for Bulbasaur. Last breath supplied. Damage coming out.
They might be able to find this one on towards Bulbasaur. If they can get that last breath down on towards him with the mitigate wounds, they'll stop it from healing, but he is sustaining incredibly back up. Look at that bar tech up. Now the Tarkus of Knights there as well, and so is xbalanque says, this is trouble.
Yeah, no mana for the Cobra's Kiss Taunt. Shock and Special won't be able to lock that kill down. Time's very low mid lane. Going to be brought down by Deku as Mogao goes into that Pillar of Agni. And Mr. Crunchy will find the kill into him. However, unfortunately, it's a great ability, does a great bit of damage. If no one is there to follow up, you're just standing still for your enemy team to just rain damage down directly onto you. Yeah, you get protections,
Guess
but in that
what
case,
just spawned?
Enough. Yep.
Guess what just spawned? Gold Fury, all 5 of them have got the advantage. Down comes the no escape from Dadas, but look at the damage on towards him. He got so many grabbed up between them, but Jermaine's still trying to put out some nice damage. Look at the Searing Flash! Look at what it's doing to this fight! They burst through Vote MBK. Bulbasaur has at least got the mitigating wounds online. They've found at least the Ares, but now he's trying to sustain through this one. He's got to run away from Jermaine. He can't fight him.
Oh, that pillar was so close for the body block. Bulbasaur will survive this engagement, mitigate wounds, going to keep him just healthy enough. That was 2 versus 5. And that's the power of Ares when nobody is able to avoid the pull. That was a full 5-man into a Desert Fury, into the Impale. That was just disgusting.
Searing Flash.
That's not how you pull the Gold Fury with the pillar, by the way. You gotta drop the pillar while the Gold Fury is on the other side of the pillar so it walks into the pillar. But I digress, I'm getting off topic here. That was a beautiful play coming out of Jermaine and Dadas on that one.
Oh my god, that was filthy. When you talk about filthy Ares plays, that one checks the top of the list. The pull, I mean, they just lost a fight, right? They just lost a fight. They'd lost 3 members, but guess what they'd forced out? 3 or 4 sets of beads.
Exactly. That's part of the Ares ultimate. It can do a ton of damage if you build up more Mage out, which he is. He has the Book of Thoth, the Shoes of the Magi. It then becomes more of an issue because when you find situations like that, if Tynes had been there, if Shock and Smash had been there, Basically, if anybody else had been there for that situation, that would have been a pentakill for somebody. If not a quad, someone might have snuck in the point of damage here or there, but the health bars just dropped so far. Can you imagine if 3 Agni bombs had been rained down onto that? It would have just been the entire Six Sigma lineup evaporating.
But did you see the amount of damage coming out from searing flesh early on? Ares is not a guardian. He's a mage guardian. He's a combo. He's a hybrid. Oh, it was filthy. The no escape, the chains. Jermaine was just like Desert Fury mid lane. The outplay comes through from Fexes. He hasn't even got CC to outplay with, and he did that.
Yeah. It's one of those situations up against an Agni. We didn't actually see that on camera. I'm assuming Tynes used the Path of Flames, was not in a great position after the Path of Flames, and Fexes just capitalized on. He has a slow on his 2. Get up close and personal. Agni no longer has a way to run away from this one. Drop a laser beam, drop a solar blessing for some tick damage, and find the kill on that one. And it worked out for those guys. That's going to be a tier 1 tower in the back of that. Answering back a little bit of that Gold Fury pickup just previous. But, I mean, Golden Experience graph. It's still anybody's game at this point in time. It's Gold Fury for Gold Fury. The tower's down. Six Sigma winning over on the kill cam. That's a little bit of a lead they have right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned that mid lane tower as well. That's so important to the map-wide experience in gold scenario. The ward sitting on top of Mr. Crunchy and his tree-based friend in Decker Scrub, but they're still going to look to try and come in. Pillar says no.
Yeah.
No, get the hell out of here.
The mid lane Fex is running away from Serqet. Going to be forced to jump back out. The bleed from Bastet secures that one. Bleeds versus poisons. Cats versus the Scorpion. The cat had more fun with that and apparently won out in the end. That'll be a gift.
Yeah, she really got a claw stuck into that one.
Yeah, she did indeed. She did indeed.
Bulbasaur's gonna get a knock-up, knock-back in on towards Tynes and immediately Path of Flames away. I'd be really scared if I really want to see Tynes on something that doesn't have an escape in the mid lane, because I really want to see him position better. It's just been a little bit off this game. Just a little bit off, but look at the difference it's made to his team.
It's definitely been an interesting one for sure. It's one of those tricky things as Agni. Path of Flames is a very, very high damaging ability, but at the same time you want to use it defensively for the most part because it's your only mobility ability. It's not a case of like you're not Anubis, you're not Outwash with like no escape type things where you're forced to stand still to channel your abilities to do damage. But you still, the Agni bombs, you're still, like for half a second, you're standing still while you do the casting animations. Path of Flames, like it's quicker, more instantaneous, but it's really just down to the bombs. You're forced to delay your movements, you're forced to stand still for a couple seconds. It doesn't seem like that huge of a deal, but that split second can be the difference between you being in a position where a skill shot lands, not landing, being easier to land a skill shot. You have these big AoE ultimates coming out, the Razor Whips and things like that are fairly big cones. That split second could be the difference between getting hit from these abilities and not getting hit.
Look at that Path of Flames and the way you just used that one into the wall to make sure that it extended the line of it and the minions took bonus procs. That was actually some really good use of the Path of Flames. I didn't even know you could do that. There you go. Just taught me someone. But Gold Fury, minute away. This is going to be our next point of contention. Look at the ward control. Six Sigma have put a lot of sentry wards down on this map.
Yeah, the Deathbane is now... Ooh, the pull lands on Jermaine left side. Disperse is already down. He's been forced to stick here for a couple seconds. There's knockup from Wrath as well. The pull about to come in. Now can be in time to save him. No follow-up damage. Dart is going to be running for his life here left side, but Serqet leaps over that wall. Coming on in. Can they turn this one around?
Free damage was coming through from Mr. Crunchy, and that was able to secure the kill. But look at the Tynes turnaround. Healing's now down on the ground for Ra. Looking for the hot snipe. He's got another one. Fex says is just in fire today, and he's not even on the Agni. It's Tynes that is that one. Tynes is looking for some bonus damage. We'll get the wall of the flame wave going on towards Fexes, but he fights him in the middle of some healing. Dodges out another bomb. This one is going to go down to in hands because Fexes has got no mana. Tynes has got cooldowns. He's waiting on them. Can he dodge another bomb? He's looking for a Path of Flames forwards. He gets the fumes down and he's got the killing spree. Tynes is huge.
That was a good play coming out from him on that one. He went for the option, if you juke back to your right, I will go ahead and just stun you within my Noxious Fumes, and if you go right, well, I'll just Flame Wave you because there's no place else for you to go. That secured him that kill. And what do you take away from that fight? If you guys happen to get pulled in by Ares with the no escape, don't be grouped up when there's an Agni on his way to a team fight.
Oh, the Ares Agni, Ares Jermaine on the...
Ares Serqet, for that matter as well. That shock and smash, that poison was spreading over a good number of people. They died like instantly after it spread anyway, just from the bombs from Agni, but you don't want to find yourself grouping up against this team. That is for sure.
Nope, AoE damage abounds, even though the opposition are the ones that kind of have a little bit more of that coming through from Deku Scrub with the Wrath of Terror and the Razor Whip and whatnot coming through from Crunchy. But hey, Mogao, wait till he gets online with this as well. They're going to fight in circles with the Pillar of Agni. Can you just see that? A Pillar of Agni comboed with a Serqet.
We also have the Pillar of Anhur in the middle of that one. Drop down Desert Fury for extra damage.
Whoa.
Double check the wording on
Hold
that one.
on.
Is it just 20? It is just a straight damage buff. Oh, never mind. It does specify basic attack. So the Desert Fury won't actually get increased by that. Well, but you can have the Pillar of Agni with the Pillar of Anhur with the Agni Pillar of Doom in the form of bombs raining down from the sky. Not really a pillar, but more just the raining fire of death and destruction. Nevertheless, a very, very deadly portion of the map that Six Sigma probably want to stay out of. Unfortunately for Myrmidons, they have Dardas say, no, you will come back in this one as a play with no escape.
And the last two fights that have won off the back of Dardes, he's waited on that no escape. He has waited a long, long time, waited and just played very, very patiently on those beads. That's good play. That's good play, patient play. That's some very, very good Ares play.
Blink no escape is excellent. Don't get me wrong, it's a great combo. It's not a case where you necessarily have to use that every single time to initiate a fight. Blink into shackles. You may force a couple of beads just in the back of that. You force it off one person. Then you no escape. The beads are already gone. You're going to get at least one person on the pull then.
Looking for bombs, looking for damage on towards Vexes, and now it's going to be Bulbasaur coming in. The Wrath of Terror lock, shock and smash down. He's so low on this one. Unfortunately, they are going to grab Crunchy back in and towards it. And the Pillar of Agony's there. The Rara ultimate hot snipes. Now they're looking at Dardes.
Yep, we'll see so far back and forth fights. 1-2, that's Six Sigma winning the fight for the time being. Nobody really nearby to stop this one right now. There's no pull. They lost a big initiation with that Serqet. And Bulbasaur, more than happy to zone out Jermaine, mitigate wounds already ticking away, healing him back on up. Tynes is waiting nearby, looking for that AoE damage, but they really don't have the steal option right now. Mogao, they have nothing available for opens, no Agni bombs. Desert Fury does come through. Six Sigma will take the Gold Fury.
Yeah, but the fight's going to consume after this one. Look at Tynes trying to get the heck out of here. Bulbasaur is going to be on the chase. And they lock him down. Mogail's got at least a little bit of fear. They don't get the knock up. They don't get the Earthbreaker Driving Strike combo onto Tynes. And that was the crucial part. That's what the exit kill was going to be based off. But minions in the mid lane doing the work.
Yep. But Six Sigma will arrive back to kind of stop the Tier 1 tower from falling. Tier 1 mid and right lane for Six Sigma not looking too good. On the right side, they've already taken down the opposing towers in that lane, so it's not like a case, they lose and it's like, oh, they're down at disadvantage. Kind of just evening things back up from earlier tower kills.
Yeah, it's the same scenario in the mid lane as well.
Interesting. I just take a look down at the items. Hercules. This is not something you typically see coming out of Hercules. With the double hunter meta, we pretty much don't see anything. You go Mystical Mail, you go Runeforged Hammer. You maybe pick up a Hydnemian line as like a luxury kind of 6th item later on down the road to reflect some damage back. We're seeing double magical protection items coming out from Hercules, which is actually a great pickup into this team comp. You have the Hades, you have the Agni, you have the Ares. Hercules is more concerned about those guys right now than he is about the 2 remaining physical damage dealers. Which is probably the wise decision given the fact that, as much damage as Agni and Hades are going to be thrown out.
He's got 600 bonus health across those, the Stone Gaia, Winged Blade, and Heartwood Amulet combo, right? And so much magical protection, that's what you mentioned. And a lot of this AoE comp, Hades and Agni, and for that matter, Ares as well, all magical damage, it's not physical. So he's producing so much of that. But at the same time, the Stone Gaia, the regeneration from the passive of it, it's just going to be insane. Look at his health bar. He has a 3k health bar.
Yep, Rainfire coming down once again from Tynes. He's going to have the Path Flames to run away, able to juke away from that Earthbreaker. Caught out, though, on the tail end of it. Gonna get the bleed from the, the poison in that case doesn't get the kill. Between that and the Sylvanus damage over time, he was dead to rights in that situation. Not much really to take over to the left side of the jungle. A couple buff camps to clear out here still, but as things stand, Six Sigma still not necessarily firmly control this game. They're still in the driving seat, but Myrmidons are not out of this one quite yet.
Yeah, important point to note though, remember what we were talking about the weakening curse? It's not online anywhere at this point in time. Ares is supposed to go Greater Blink to try and get that initiate down. Where do they pick it up? Nobody else has got a large portion of gold. That's going to be a struggle to find anyone to stick it on.
Serqet really needs beads, and Mogao, while he is definitely a possible person to pick it up, let's face it, he's Hades. He wants to get that shield of the underworld to reflect damage back when he's in the middle of these fights. I mean, he's there. He's going to be in the front line. He's body blocking stuff in general. Why not reflect damage back where possible? It's going to be split pushing for now. Not really much on the map to take for Six Sigma. They got the tier 1, they got the tier 2 left lane. Nice pickup. It's 2,000 gold overall, but like you said, that weakened curse, they have a divine ruin getting worked towards by Tines, but there's a lot of healing coming out from Six Sigma. I mean, the Hercules has the Stone of Gaia running constantly to mitigate wounds. The Solar Blessing, the Wisps coming out from Sylvanus. I don't know if the Divine Ruin will be enough. They could build a Pestilence on Ares as well. The little Talisman could build up into that, but they don't have a Heart Word online yet either. That's another one of those kind of high-priority support pickups you want to get online as soon as possible, generally. There's the Weakening Curse coming out. It's going to be Mogoth picking that one up. They definitely need that as soon as possible.
Yep, 100% right. I mean, already looking to go towards the Enchanted Trinket into potentially that, the Pestilence? No, it wasn't the Pestilence, that was going to be going on towards Ares. I have just mixed my items up right now. My brain just farted and just exploded, and it doesn't want to work. Even though you mentioned the item like 30 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. Divine Ruin, the Pestilences, the Weakening Curses.
That's it! Divine Ruin.
Yeah.
The trouble with investing into Divine Ruin, though, is you're investing into that healing reduction. And when it can be picked up elsewhere for a lot cheaper. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, Divine Ruin, if you don't look at the healing reduction portion of it, it's kind of a bad item. It's just the utility added by that healing reduction that makes the item even like worth considering at any point in time. It's like a decision we need it. Brawler's Beatstick actually picked up by Serqet, not generally what you'd expect as a normal item. That would more typically be that Titan's Bane. There's still penetration on it. It's a nice chunk, 40 physical power, still nothing to scoff at, but more importantly, it is that healing reduction. They want to make sure they can shut down the healing and stop those health bars from shooting back up. Because you watch them in these fights, the damage comes out, the health bars shoot straight back up, and they're trying to bait this fire chain right now. Just fake shots coming up from MBK. They will actually aggro and kind of like force the bait a little. It's like, okay, we see you looking at the bait here, guys. Come on, take it, take it, take it. Not having any of it. All right, we'll just do the dance. We don't want to do the dance, but if you're going to make us, we will.
Yeah, and the bait's not going to work as well, because look at Shock and Smash and Mogal's positioning. They were right on the backside of that. They had vision of the fire giant. They could tell if it was being started up or not. And Six Sigma didn't take advantage of the split coming through from Myrmidons. If they had caught out Mogal and Shock and Smash and just gone straight hard for them and killed them both off, they'd win that fight so hard. But they're going to go over here on towards the left-hand side of the map and focus on towards the Gold Fury. This is risky. If they go all in on towards the Gold Fury, look at the positioning that's just been reversed. It's now Myrmidons with the control over this pit.
Yeah, but the vision is in control of Six Sigma. They know exactly where these guys are right now. They can make use of that to actually start this fight in their own manner. See if they can do exactly that. The grab will miss from Deca Scrub. The lead from Jermaine. The back line's kind of the front line right now. If this fight is able to be started up, no blink for Sylvanus coming out from that one. They could potentially look for Jermaine. Disperse was on cooldown.
If Sigma
there it is.
could have initiated there. Oh, there it is, actually. It's going to go in. They're looking for the fight. Dardes is trying to do what he can, but he's already below half health. He's just going to get burned alive, and Crunchy's going to pick that one up. The next focus is Shock and Smash and Mogal, and they can't do too much. So many kills being picked up by Six Sigma.
That was a lot of AoE damage getting rained down at the heads of Six Sigma, but they were caught in the middle of the healing on that one. I'm not sure exactly when the Weakening Curse was actually used, but it looks like Mr. Crunchy may fall and will to Tines the passive on Agni, burning him alive. That's a toasty kitty cat, to say the least. Yeah, but
if you go to Korea, you can try Toasted Kitty Cat, but I'm not sure that Bastet would approve.
I'd imagine not. Yeah,
they should consider the delicacy there.
I had horror subs in France for a while. It was delicious.
Ooh.
Everywhere else is like, oh my god.
Man?
Yeah, it's the Myrmidons. So, I'm sure they're a fan of the horse meat as well. Delicious. It was good. That's all I can say about it.
Anyway, right before that last fight kind of broke out as well, did you see where Six Sigma got Myrmidons into? They also burned all of their escapes. There was no Path of Flames, there was no Leap Away to come through from Jermaine. Mogal and Shock and Smash had also burned their escapes, so there was nothing. If they got engaged upon, they had to buy time. They tried to buy time, and just got engaged upon before those major cooldowns, the escapes, got back up. So they had to position absolutely perfectly, and that was why Tines and Jermaine sat so far back in that fight and weren't able to put out the DPS they needed to.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much AoE damage coming down as well. There was a decent no escape coming out from Ares. He pulled, I think he pulled in 2. A couple other guys were grouped up. Tines hit a lot of guys in that fight. Jermaine as well. The Desert Fury coming across. They're sitting top of the damage chart. It's not a case, they're not just doing damage. The problem is they're using their entire kit worth of damage. And then you look at the health bars of Six Sigma, it's like they're still 2/3 health or above. That did next to nothing. And we're dying one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Something they could have done. Either way, Six Sigma back off the end of that. What? there was a reference in there, wasn't there?
I don't know what we're doing anymore. We said something.
Okay.
Did we accidentally praise Deku Scrub or something like that?
Did we? Did we all hail praise Deku Scrub? No, we can't do that. That's like against the laws. Deku Scrub's initiate was absolutely perfect that last fight, though. He was on point. He's just having a really on point game.
Grabs on the other hand, I don't know. That's that one not quite so much. Team a little too far to recapitalize on it, but tier 2 towers down. The new wave approaching. They want this Phoenix. Fire Giant buff on all 5. I don't know if it's an easy cake, but they're gonna look for it.
NBK is the real MVP of that fight so far. He got on towards the Phoenix. He's still deep. Mogao was so far behind him, and he's okay to be in this sort of position at this point in time. He's got the CC reduction from the Rising Jaguar at the right time for the fear to come out from Mogao, and they will mow down the Phoenix. And now look at the clock on towards Jamek. They didn't quite find him.
That was an impel to stop the Earthbreaker, the Dragon Check on the back of that Earthbreaker. I don't know if that was intentional, if that was just an incidental, but it worked out that way, and it meant he did not die to that Hercules pull. But nevertheless, it is 1-for-1 kills on that one. Fexes was able to go, fell rather, to the very deep dive by Mogao. Like he said, very, very tanky, not concerned by that. If they can set that up and follow up on it and capitalize on it in a little bit more of a better fashion, they can definitely turn these fights around because, you know, that was a Fire Giant buff teamed, a Fire Giant Six Sigma team. They got the Phoenix. That's what they came for. They lost their one of their healers. They lost their mid laner. But Myrmidons didn't necessarily, like, didn't lose that fight. If they lost the fight, the game would be over right now.
Yeah, and they went very, very even in that fight. That's something to point out. Shotgun Smash is going pretty ham here too. He wants to get on top. He's got the Deathbane down on towards Mr. Crunchy, but he's going to get around to tear it up. He's dead. Vote MBK. He's got some poison darts on top of him. Now they'll turn, look for Tynes. If they find him, this is going to be the end of game. Rock is not going to hit. Well, it actually did hit. It was outside the icon range, but now Dartes is going for the hook.
There was Escape coming in the back of that. Jermaine does fear across a whole bunch of them, but it's not going to matter. Both of us are able to secure that kill. Respawn's coming up. Mogao is back up and alive. Tynes getting back to base. Path of Flames. Darda is going to sacrifice his life and hope that Mogao and Tynes can hold on and defend the map while the rest of the team is busy respawning. It is going to be
wave clear still up?
It is, but it's going to be a big ask for these guys. It's 2v5. Fire Giant buff still on 3 members of Six Sigma.
Tynes is just sort of baiting, who will at least bait out the Earthbreaker. They're coming, trying to get in on top of this one. Mogao is going to get down the Pillar of Agni. Can they go for the Agni Pillar combo? No, they won't be able to. Titan falls. And Six Sigma walk through with game number 1. Myrmidons, they need to clean up their strategy for game number 2.
I blame the Titan. They forgot to pick up protection, so just died too quickly right there.
Damn. Yeah. That game is gearing up. Myrmidons had a really, really nice comp for coming back in the late game, though.
They did. You saw it there at the end, at the Titan. Mogao came in. The damage coming out from those two was just massive. It really just came down to that mid lane fight before the Fire Giant was picked up by Six Sigma, where the combo was brought in by Myrmidons. But I want to really go back and look at that at some point in time and just like slow-mo. When exactly was the Weakened Curse applied? When was the healing going on? Things like that. Because it seemed that despite the Weakened Curse being used by Mogao, the health bar still just did not move anywhere. So maybe a rough spot, you know, maybe just maybe it was a fat finger blunder, used it before the death from below, and he actually used it and didn't hit anybody. I'm not entirely sure. But that was really the turning point of the game. Things that Myrmidons were holding on, they were pushing back and forth. There's a couple of kill difference, but they were not in any way, shape, or form out of it. And just that back of that Fire Giant on that followed up, that was kind of the downhill turn of the matchup. There was, I don't say there's no coming back from it, but Myrmidons were holding on, trying to do what they could. It was just a rough force to stop at that point. Six Sigma with all that healing, any little incidental poke. You have the Fire Giant, never mind all the healing on the side of Six Sigma. So those health bars were not going to be below full unless they just burst them down and out. Which again, when you're kind of down on, you're on tilt a little bit, when you have a member down, your burst damage isn't necessarily there entirely.
Yeah, that was the real trouble. I mean, the points for them to get back into that game as well. You mentioned that Fire Giant, it was so crucial to the game. They couldn't circulate the damage. They needed to fight in those circles. Actually, yep. I would have really liked to have seen an Odin pickup to go with that composition as well. That
would have actually been really good against this composition as well.
Yeah, all that healing, it would have been perfect.
The healing...
You could sub out Mogao for it.
The only person who could have gotten out of it was Bastet.
Mm.
At the same time, who was their last pick? Do I still have that sitting up there? The last pick was Bastet, so I mean, at the point, if they locked in, maybe an Odin jungle, but, I don't know, it would have been a rough kind of spot to squeeze in at that point after Hercules was picked up. Would it have worked? Yeah, I think it definitely could have. Is Odin jungle necessarily in the pool of Shotgun Smash? I don't know. So it's one of those situations, do you stick him on something you may not have played at all? just because it would be a good pickup. They really, they had the Ares pickup where you can't really stick Ares anywhere else. So Hades, kind of the same deal. So it would have been it would have been a bit of a shoehorn fit. It would have had to go on Shock and Smash, and it may just not have been an option with this experience on the God. So nevertheless, first game of this best of 3 finals for week 5 of the EU Challenger Cup will be going to Six Sigma. They'll be going to game 2 with 1 game lead. So we'll be back with game 2 here in just a few minutes, guys. Stick around. We'll see you in a bit.